As Malaysia tries to re-engineer its economy, the Prime Minister has turned to people in the private sector, as well as to experienced technocrats like Nor Mohamed Yakcop, to craft a new economic blueprint for the country.
Malaysia recently raised its economic forecast. Can you give us a description how Malaysia has fared during this financial crisis?
In 1997, 1998, we had this major financial crisis. We took action, our own domestic recipe, and overcame that too, and became stronger because of that, because we knew the importance of financial regulation, financial prudence, good governance, financial oversight. 10 years down the road, when we face this global crisis, the experience and lessons and action taken during the 1997-98 crisis has stood us in good stead. So while the economy was affected by this global crisis, and which economy was not, the extent of our losses were somewhat limited.
It's interesting because you recently said that the economic slowdown was a blessing. What did you mean by that?
We want to come out of this crisis not with anemic growth. 2-3% we can get, there's no problem. But we want robust, viable growth, and we think we can get it. And everybody is now putting the thinking cap and thinking out of the box. And this would not have happened if not for the crisis.
You actually have your hands full right now. You're working on the 10th Malaysia Plan, which is a 5-year economic program to ensure sustainable development. What is the strategic direction here?
The strategic direction is the Vision 2020. In 1991, the nation made a decision that within 30 years, we want to be a developed country, we want to be a rich country, we want to join the League of Developed Nations. By then, we were already a middle-income country. And that itself was an achievement, because in 1957, when we became an independent nation, we were not supposed to survive even, or progress, because we were taught to be a country that is so dependent on just two commodities, rubber and tin. But that was not our vision. Our vision was to be a developed country. Higher middle income is good, but not good enough. And given this economic malaise in the last couple of years, it was really tempting on our part to sit back and say, look, the world is undergoing a major crisis, described to be as bad as the 1930s crisis. So can we not postpone 2020, Vision 2020 to 2025 or 2030? That would have been the line of least resistance. That would have been the easier route. But we said no. We said we are going to achieve Vision 2020 and we are going to do it. And the only window that we really have is the 10 Malaysia Plan. Because if we don't bring back the growth rate and the momentum back to track now in the next 5 years, nothing that we do in the second 5 years will bring us to Vision 2020.
And in order to achieve that, you're really looking at least 5% growth over this period.
5.5%.
5.5%. What are the key sectors that you're looking for driving this new economy?
The first category is the easy wins. We are just going to make the whole business of government, the whole bureaucracy efficient, effective. And we are going to do all it takes really to do it. And the Prime Minister has said it in no uncertain terms that he will tolerate no nonsense and he just wants it done. That itself really should add a couple of points to growth if we don't do anything else. The other aspect, which is a little bit more complex, is that we have been very used to a low-cost based economic model. Although we may be cheap, others are now cheaper. India was not there in 1970, China was not open, Vietnam was not open. Now they're open and cheaper. We can't even compete if we want to. We don't want to. But even if we want to, we can't compete. But worse, these countries which are cheaper now are leapfrogging on the technology curve. And so for us, there is no option but to really move up the curve. So we have to make sure that the FDIs that come in and the investment, our domestic investors, move up the value chain where the value added is big, large, where it is based on knowledge economics, it's based on innovation, it's based on creativity, that sort of thing. So that we have to do it, and we have to be more selective in what incentives we give to which companies. But we have decided to do it, and that is the way forward.
Excellent. Let me just end on a quote by you, because you said there are some battles that can be won, there are some battles that must be won, and some battles which cannot be won. Which battle are you intent on winning?
The battle to put our economy back on the growth momentum of 5.5% a year for the next 10 years. Come whatever may, that battle we must win.
Still to come on World Business, Italy to India, region to region. An innovative meeting gets underway. And Asia's top golfers take on the Johor Open.